morning, good afternoon, good night. I don't know what time it is, but it's the best time to get in the space and the place of Jesus Christ. I'm so glad you are here for another Daily Truth. We are being consistent, we are growing, and I appreciate all of you for showing up every single morning, or whatever time throughout the day you show up, or months later. But I appreciate you for being here and just seeking knowledge, and seeking growth just like me. We're still in Galatians 5. This is episode 4 of the fruits of the Spirit. We got a lot more to go, so much more to touch on. Today's is forbearance, and I had to look up what forbearance was because the other ones are self-explanatory. Forbearance, I'm like, what is that? And I googled it, and I was like, forbearance meaning in the Bible, because there's a forbearance in the worldly view, and it's about finances, and like what's owed or whatever. But it says forbearance could be explained as showing patience even though a thing is owed to us. It is also holding back or restraining itself from doing something that is normal to do. And it's controlling oneself when provoked or offended. So there's many different meanings when it comes to forbearance. So we're going to talk about some today as I wrap my mind around it, as I read the verse. So the verse is Galatians 5, verse 22 to 23. At this point, you should know it. But it is the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. There's no law. But today's word and fruit of the Spirit we're going to discuss is forbearance. And I'll just say patience. And this is a perfect fruit of the Spirit to touch on today. Patience. Something we all are lacking when it comes to our calling, our lives, our finances, our romantic lives for some of you, but patience. And some of you may have prayed for patience in this season that you're coming up upon, and you're realizing that you are being tested. That patience isn't just given right away. You pray to God for patience, or you pray to God for peace. He's not just going to hand you peace and patience. He's going to give you things to gain it. Right? So as you're gaining this patience, recognize your attitude in this season. Because I think this is the most important season. Now, I know I say that about every season, but let's talk about patience, waiting. So when you think about patience, you think about waiting, right? So what are we waiting on? I think I made a TikTok recently. I'm like, okay, so right here, right now is the reason why you're going to be and gain everything that you are going to gain in the future. So you're so focused on your future that you're not recognizing this moment right here, right now, where you may be struggling, or where you may be losing a little bit of hope, is the most important time, because it's where you're focused. But this is the time when you can rush through things and not understand what's going on. You can, God, I just want to get through this, and not learn what you're supposed to learn, and you're wondering why you keep saying the same thing and the same patterns over and over again, because you didn't learn the lesson you're supposed to learn to get to the point where you need to get to. Learning those lessons are so super important. I think when I go through anything and it has to do with my patience, I look at it like, okay, let's learn this lesson. I'm not trying to have it reoccurring, auto pay, billing cycle. No, let's learn this one time. Let's pay this price. Let's understand what God is needing us to understand, so we get it. We get it into the thick of our minds. But patience, man, I'm one I'm one to talk about it for sure, because it's my life. There's multiple things and situations that I'm praying for, and I'm praying for even stronger patience. But to know that God gives you choice. He gives you that freedom to make those choices. You can speed up some things by doing your own thing. Walking your own path, doing things your own way. No matter how that may make you feel, and no matter how it may make others feel. It may make people look at you a little bit differently. Because you're not moving the correct way. You're stepping outside of your calling. When God has called you, it doesn't matter the distance. He's called you. Right? And remember, we're moving on God's time, not yours. And we can get lost in this world because we think the whole world revolves around us because it's our life. I get it. But I need you to understand that patience is so important when it comes to waiting on God. sitting with God. We're not even going to be waiting on God. We're sitting with Him. You know, I think I've gained more peace in the patience due to the fact that I know where I'm going to be. I think about all my situations I've been through, all my teaching, my teaching moments. I'm like, wow, like I always ended up where I needed to be. I want you to think back to some things that you've gone through, that you have experienced. You've always ended up where you needed to be, no matter what. So why worry now, right? I'm not saying that, you know, you're a human being, you're gonna worry. That's our first instinct. So human instincts to worry sometimes. You know, well, where's this next thing coming from? You know, where is it? I get it. But to make sure you're not drowning in that and living in that, that's the most important thing. Right? So as you begin to understand forbearance, which I'm gonna stand patience with, I want you to understand that, you know, waiting is okay. You know, this season is a season you have prayed for. You know, because what's on the other side of this waiting is waiting for you. You know, they're waiting for you, and there's no time. You know, this the thing that's waiting for you outside of the waiting season, you know, isn't gonna leave because you're taking too long. Like, oh, he's taking too long to learn his lesson. I'm leaving. No, what's for you will always be for you, and it will never miss you. It's waiting on you. Right? It doesn't matter how long it takes. It's gonna be there, and it needs to be there for you. So wait diligently. I say this as a person who's waiting. That's how I know God gonna bless me. I'm helping you understand waiting in the waiting season that I'm currently in. Wait diligently. But have patience as you are waiting. And know that what you are waiting for will never miss you at all. Okay? So I feel like as we get deeper into the fruits of the Spirit, these things become like, what do you call it? The rest of the fruits of the Spirit are really attached to the emotional end of ourselves. You know, patience is more so about the heart posture. You know, like I feel like if you've never been taught patience, or you never had to be told to wait for certain things, like, I mean, you could think about people who was raised and got everything they wanted. You know, so as they grow up, they're not used to waiting. When someone tells them to wait, I'm not waiting. What? Me personally, I've had to wait for things, and it's turned out to me being an adult who is okay with waiting for things. Like, who understands that, you know, times may be hard. If I ask for something from somebody, they can't get it right away. I can wait. I'm not worried. I can get it myself. You know, but just know that the way you wait and your patience was shaped by things in your past. So if you feel like your patience is running low and you know, you're always just worried, that was shaped in a past version of yourself. Right? So also in this waiting season, you're shedding off other things that was, you know, that you were used to in the past. You know, so there's so much going on in this waiting season that you have to have patience. There's so much going on in your mind in this waiting season. Like, dang, what if I'm waiting for too long? What if God forget about me in this waiting season? God forgets no one. God forgets no one, and I hope your heart does not stray away in this waiting season, you know, in this season of patience. I know it ain't easy. You know, I know some days I hope kind of start to run low, start to run dry, which I understand. You know, I'm believing for things that are not outside of me. I can 100% obtain these things, you know, because I'm asking for those things in His name. You know, it's super connected to God and what I'm asking for and what I know I deserve. So when you begin to grow and you begin to ask for things, you know these things will happen because they are of God, and you know this is what God has called you to do and called to be in your life. You know, before you know, even knew God the way you knew Him, you would ask for certain things and they wouldn't be fulfilled because it wasn't of Him, it wasn't in His name, because that's not a part of your journey and your story. But as you get closer to Him and you learn these things and you start learning the fruits of the Spirit, okay, start asking for a woman of God, asking for a man of God. You know, it's not outside of you. It's very well capable because of who you have become. I don't know, man. I hope this daily truth kind of opens your eyes when it comes to waiting and patience. To end today's daily truth, the question I want to ask is, what are you being patient for right now? And how is your waiting season being tested right now? I don't really want to. I can't really share what I'm waiting on, but I'm just waiting on my life to elevate, and I know it will. I'm not worried. I'm eager to hear your responses. Thank you for showing up every day and just being here with me and growing. I appreciate you. I love you. I will see you on another Daily Truth.